Hello everybody, welcome back to another Train Sim World 5 video. We're back on the Bakerloo line, but within the West Coast Main Line South DLC. So we're at Harrow Wealdstone. Let's pop in and get everything set up. So I think there's no safety. There's not really any proper safety systems on here. Set that to inter. Bring that up to off and release. Forward. Shouldn't it be doing like the air sound? Oh, hang on. This, the control key, that would be... There we go, that's what we need. Let's quickly pop that back to that. And do that again. I always forget about that. There we go, right. And then we can go forward into Harrow Wealdstone. Let's get the lights on as well. Headlights on... So is that all how we want it to be? Yep, that looks fine. We'll set that to Elephant and Castle. As this would be going there. Set it forward. And off we go. Let's do it. Yeah, I think it's just the second time I've ran the 72 stock within the West Coast Main Line, Bakerloo line. I sort of wish you could go the full way to Elephant and Castle though. That's the only thing which is like, it would be cool to have if they could stitch on the tunnel section. If you owned the Bakerloo line DLC, then you can go all the way through to Elephant and Castle, upgraded. Because that's sort of like the weird thing we have at the moment with the Bakerloo line in this game, is you can either get the Bakerloo line DLC, so then you can run from one end to the other without any, swapping over, but then it's a bit rubbish. But it's not rubbish, but you don't get any of this AI. The West Coast Main Line's dead, and obviously it's Todd 3 or whatever came before. Or you do half of it on here and then go over to the actual Bakerloo line to then do the tunnel section. But then that's a bit annoying. I don't know. What does everyone like doing with the Bakerloo line? Do you just do it on the West Coast Main Line South now? Maybe do you still go on the Bakerloo line DLC and still do this northern section? Well, the good thing about Queen's Park though, I suppose with the Bakerloo line, they are split, aren't they? The services, like half the services terminate at Queen's Park on the Bakerloo line DLC. So you could do one of those and then flick over to here. There we are then. Little bit of time and then we are out of here with train 210. On this winter's morning. Rush hour as well. Let's get the door shut. And it will be Kenton up next. Let's go. Still going strong though, these trains. 52 years. Well, about to be 53 years in service. But still going pretty strong. I was on one the other night. Still, yeah, a really pleasant train to go on. Comfortable seats as well. I mean, the 72 stock, it's almost like a sofa when you sit on the seat. Don't want to know what comes up though when you sit down. All the dust and stuff coming up. Ugh. And off we go up to 45. That's a good point though. The seats are really comfy on these trains in real life. But then, when you sit down, obviously you're going to unleash all the particles, and it's like, oh, what's going to come up? I mean, look at this. I mean, this is cool. Look, Pendo racing past as we go at 38 miles an hour. Whereas, yeah, on the actual Bakerloo line DLC, you wouldn't get that. You'd probably get, what, a shed going past. And that's it. So I suppose another option with the actual Bakerloo line DLC is maybe they update that and add in the West Coast Main Line AI. Or would it be easier just to stitch on the underground section of the Bakerloo on this route? Don't know. It's probably not that easy, but... Although saying that, I'm pretty certain the Bakerloo line, the tunnel section, actually is within this route. But you just can't access it and the scenery is not all there. It's like a little hidden thing. As I believe Kilburn Park you can actually go to, but it's just pitch black and the frame rate is just like awful. And here we are. This is Kenton. Still just about on time. Oh, the saloon lights. There we go. Surprised they don't just come on by default. Let's get the door shut. And it is South Kenton next. Let's watch it departing. And we're off. The hype when this route first come out though, or at least when it first got announced, I think it was June... I think I'm going to be pretty precise. I think it was June the 9th, 2020, when everyone was, locked down. Not... I mean, it was a great time for gaming, but everything else real world was a bit pants. So yeah, when this got revealed, it was like, wow. A deep level tube line in Train Sim World. Yeah, a lot of hype. We'd think that is... about 4.5 years ago now. It's like, what? Wow. Doesn't feel right. It is also a good thing. Well, yeah, a good thing. A lot of, like, when I think of sort of people who play Train Sim World, I just think, oh, everyone's probably played it for about 4 or 5 years since it came out onto console, or at least since Train Sim World 2. I think that was quite a big influx of players because of the pandemic. But that's a good question to all of you watching. When did you start playing Train Sim World? Yeah, what made you get Train Sim World, and when did you start playing it? And look at the fog as well. The fog looks great. But yeah, when I think of it, I think most people sort of joined Train Sim World when this route came out, well, the actual Bakerloo line. I'm probably quite wrong in thinking that. Train Sim World 2 was epic though. Like the amount of cool DLC you had for Train Sim World 2. I mean, yeah, you had Train Sim World 2 itself, Colnark and Sandpatch, and the Bakerloo. And then the sort of following year, you then had Rush Hour, which is still regarded as one of the best sort of DLC sort of route bundles there is. Being Brighton Mainline, epic route, Breeze of Dresden, great route, and Boston Sprinter, which are all top routes. Probably second to that would be, or does it beat it? It'll be very close between the Train Sim World 5 base routes and Train Sim World 2 Rush Hour. Which, yeah, Train Sim World 5, the route bundle within that probably was like the first, like, wow, in terms of routes since Train Sim World 2 Rush Hour. But genuinely everybody had something to be sort of excited for. And this is North Wembley, which is basically a copy and paste of Kenton, or vice versa. Very, very similar. Something I found with this train in real life though, or at least the 73 stock, so probably applies to the 72 stock as well. The driver will literally open the doors as the train's moving. Like you'll get into the station, the train will be at probably in between half a mile an hour and a mile an hour, and the doors will open. So I don't know if there's some sort of, I don't know, some sort of, no interlock or something within these trains, or maybe at like a really low speed that they can open the doors up. Because the train definitely was not stationary when the doors were opening. It was like literally coming just to a stop and the doors were opened. Like Wembley Central next. Nice little sparks there. I was saying that wasn't that a spark on the side where there is no power rail at the moment? And again, hang on, there's no power rail there. There's no third rail there. Somehow it's sparking on this side. Again, I'm going to avoid going into photo mode, as otherwise that really nice sort of light fog we've got will just disappear. They sorted the weather mode bug, but the fog, it still has the issue where it will reset. There's a 710. Is that the /3? No, that's the other one. That's the 4 coach. And here we are. This is Wembley Central. I think it is really good of Dovetail though that they have included this train with the route. Not expected. I thought you'd have to own the Bakerloo line to have the 72 stock, but no. This train is included as base. If you get the West Coast Main Line South, you'll get this train. Slight caveat to that is if you're on last gen consoles, the PS4 and Xbox One, you won't, like a lot of the trains, you won't see them within service mode. You can only just spawn them in within free roam. But that's alright. That's just limitations of that. Right, let's go. Thing is, what will we see next summer with Train Sim World 6? Again, nothing official yet, but looking at the previous pattern of releases, I'd imagine we probably will get Train Sim World 6 next year. Look at this, it looks beautiful this time in the morning. Very nice. It's like the best I've seen Train Sim World 5 looking. And I thought that journey from Euston up to Milton Keynes we did in the 350 recently, I thought that was pretty good looking, but this maybe tops that. Look at that, look at the sun coming through there on the fog. Wow. Very, very nice. Right, under the West Coast. Or the West Coast Main Line. Then we come up to Stonebridge Park. One of the main depots on the Bakerloo. It's this one and London Road Depot. And Queen's Park. Which on the old timetable before the update, I think most of the stock within this depot was static, so it didn't do anything. But now since the timetable update for this route, trains come in and out, go into the sheds. It's a lot better than what it was. There's another one there. Look at this though. Wow. And as we come into Stonebridge Park. The platforms are literally perfectly snug for the train. So you will just about fit in. And here we are. This is Stonebridge Park. That generally looks really, really good. Look at that. Really liking the volumetric fog. I don't really do many runs in the fog, but especially when you do it sort of early winter's morning with a little bit of fog, as you get realistically in sort of a cold morning, you get that sort of fog or haze. It looks really, really good. I'll be using it a lot more. And also another good thing about fog is it obscures things loading in as well. Like on a lot of sort of old games where there'd sort of just be fog, so then you wouldn't see things loading in. Which I suppose being on PS5 now, you don't really see things loading in as much or popping in as much, but the fog still just obscures it that little bit more. So I suppose if you're playing on last gen, having fog on is probably quite good. But look at this though, look at the sun on the rails there. I think this may actually be the best I've seen Train Sim 5. Look at that. Johnny looks really good. And we got Wealdstone up next. Another 72 stock. Cool. And doing this route HUDless is pretty straightforward, or at least on the Bakerloo or Watford DC. Most of the way it's just 45 miles an hour. And all of the stations you can slow down for in time. You could probably even come into some of the stations at 45 and still come to a stop with a bit of harsh braking. So if you're sort of looking to learn something HUDless, learning the Watford DC line either on the 72 stock or the 710 is quite good. In fact, it may be one of the easiest routes to learn HUDless. In fact, yeah. I'd say for UK stuff, Queen's Park to Harrow Wealdstone, just at the Bakerloo section, probably is the easiest thing you can learn HUDless. Maybe add in the full Watford DC line from Euston up to Watford Junction is a very good route to learn HUDless to begin with. Because there's hardly anything to it. 45 most of the way. Again, all of the stations you can see with plenty of time and slow down for. So yeah, if you're sort of looking to learn something HUDless, the Watford DC. Also, the only more complicated bit is coming into Euston, where you've got a few different speed limits, but you'll be alright. It's probably actually a lot easier than the East Coast way to learn HUDless, so that's another sort of easy-ish route. You won't have any issue with this. That's a little challenge for you guys watching. If you've made it this far in the video, try and learn the Watford DC line HUDless. And also, basically every train stops at every stop, so you don't necessarily need to know the stop names either. You see a station, you stop for it. So that's not as important. Oh, here we are. this is Wealdstone Junction. There we go. Cool. And then we got Kensal Green and Queen's Park. Let's go. I'll quickly send a message. There we go. So we're about to have Christmas dinner, so I'm trying to time this fairly well. Cool, there's the Wealdstone depot there with the overground trains in. Again, look at the sunlight and the fog, and oh, it's great. I've probably said that multiple times, but it does look good. And you've got one of the sneakiest signals around here as well. Like, I don't know if it can't be like that realistically. But it's just coming up here. It's behind this wall. There's a signal. Wait for it. Still can't see it. Still can't see it. Still can't see it. There we go. Now you see it. It's a very sneaky signal, that. Not much can easily be missed. Not sure if it would be positioned like that in real life, because yeah, you don't see it until the last second. Let's get the instrument lights on as we approach Kensal Green. Gives you a bit of a taste of driving in the tube. This little tunnel here. And here we are. Cool. And then Queen's Park's up next. Again, snug as a bug in the platform. 2 minutes late as well. Great. And let's go. It is Queen's Park next. We've got a single yellow. So that may be approach control coming into Queen's Park. Cool. Next signal is, yeah, just here. Nice and steady up. So there we go. Don't need to be steady anymore. So it comes down to 15 miles an hour. Nice and steady up for the 15. And you've got the Queen's Park sheds here. So a fair few services will terminate here at Queen's Park and then run empty into the shed and then go back down to Elephant and Castle. Which obviously, if you want to drive that part of the Bakerloo line, there actually is a Bakerloo line DLC. which came out in 2020. And on top of that, you've also got the 1938 tube stock by Rivet, which also then goes onto the Bakerloo. This annoying signal. You gotta be careful with this one. This one's signal Bravo Bravo 2. Yeah, it's a funny one. In fact, well, looks like we're waiting for the train and the siding there to go first. That's an interesting decision. Yeah, look. That's got the road already. What time's that due out? When are you due out? I feel like we were meant to be in front of that. Hang on, what time are we due in? 8:50. Why is the signaller set that one first then? That's going to be the 8:54. Hang on, 2:02. 2:02. So we've got to wait 3 minutes for the train to the right of us to get out of the way. Not ideal, but there it goes. Slightly interesting signalling decision. A very interesting signalling decision, actually. So that goes out at 54. Okay, not too long, only 2 minutes. But still. And you still can't open the door up here. So it's very peculiar. But yeah, I think that was one of the sort of licensing agreements, is that you can open the door up here. Because they didn't want you walking around in the tunnels. But then on the 1938 stock, you can open the door up and get out and walk around in the tunnel. And basically any other train you run in scenario planner or free roam, you can just get out and walk through the tunnel. So slightly weird that you weren't able to open this door, which of course is the way staff get in to then set up the train for the day. Cool. Here's that one. And tube signalling is a little bit different to already another train. It's a little bit different to the national rail signalling. Quite a bit different as well. But on this route you don't really need to worry about it apart from here. That's already got the green to go. It's at 8:54, isn't it? Yeah. Is it now 8:53? I think in real life it would be tea and biscuits for the signaller. For weirdly putting that one in front of us. Especially as the turnaround time at Elephant and Castle probably is, what, 4 or 5 minutes. So it's going to be late going back as well. At least it's off now. Good. And there is a signal, I think, halfway down the platform. So we should be able to go quite soon. Ready for it. Let us in. Unless he's sending another one first. Well, there we go. Right, let's go. There we go, finally coming into Queen's Park. Let's get a shot of the train as well. Now we're at the end. Oh, that's all blurry. Great. Another weird limitation or something there. Hey ho. There's not a signal halfway down the platform. I think there is if you go maybe the other way. Now this is Queen's Park, where this video comes to an end. But hopefully everyone has enjoyed it. Another bit of the Bakerloo here on the West Coast Main Line. Of course, if you do want to continue down into the tunnel, you will need the Bakerloo line DLC. There we go. But yeah, that's coming from me. Links to be found in all the usual places. Discord. Let's go here. Discord, PayPal, merch store. Apart from that, thanks for coming in. Hopefully, we'll see you next time. See you all. Take care. Bye, guys.